Hello and welcome back, everyone. We have finally reached the last chapter in our unit on operations, and in this one, we're going to discuss what inventory is. Now, at the start of our unit of operations, I explained to you that at the end of it all, if you simplify things, the operations department is responsible for two things. The first of those was production management. And everything that we've seen so far in this unit has been about the composition of the inputs and how that's converted into output. So everything that has to do with the production side of things. And at that point, I also told you that the second part of the task of operations department is to manage the right level of inventory for the whole organization. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. What is the importance of inventory and what is the operations department doing in order to manage it. Now, often when we hear the word inventory, the immediate thought is that, oh, it's raw materials. And yes, that bit is correct, that raw materials is also part of your inventory. But actually, there's more to it than that. There's more than just raw materials that make up the entire inventory of the business. So think about those things, and we'll take an example here. Let's say we're trying to make a cupboard, right? Now you need raw materials, and that's what we see here, and that's part of your inventory. But at the same time, you're not going to be able to finish the entire work all at once on all the cupboards. There may be some cupboards that might be still a work in progress. So anything that's still half done is part of your inventory. And then when this is complete, when you have a final cupboard, the final good, the finished good, is also part of your inventory. Now, the finished good, until it is bought by a customer, until the hand changes from the business to the consumer, it will remain a part of the inventory. So if it's sitting in your warehouse or even sitting in your display store waiting for a customer to come and buy it, until the time that the possession changes hand, it's still part of your inventory. And of course, you can't be accurate every time, and especially you have labor working on your goods. There may be mistakes, there may be wastage, there may be delays in delivering your raw material. So in order to give yourself a little cushion, a little buffer, companies will also keep some spares. So some wood in the shed, making sure that if for some reason the delivery is delayed, there's some that in the shed that you can use to continue making your cupboards. So collectively, all four of these are considered part of your inventory. It's not just raw materials, it's not just finished goods, everything in between, and any extra spare parts that you keep. Now, a crucial aspect of maintaining the right level of inventory is its relationship with the overall liquidity position of the company. Now, the concept of liquidity we will discuss very soon in finance, but just to explain it to you briefly, it simply indicates the ability of a business to come up with cash quickly. So the sooner you can come up with cash, the sooner you can pay people who are looking for it, your suppliers, your employees, your electric bills. So you need to make sure that in order to keep the business working, to be able to see the next day, you need to keep a certain amount of cash handy so that whenever an expense comes up on a day-to-day business, we can cover for it. We know that concept also has working capital management and liquidity. So the amount of cash you can quickly come up with is the measure of your liquidity. And the reason why we're discussing that here is that whenever you buy raw material, let's say there's a business, again, furniture maker making cupboards, they will need raw material, and that raw material will have to be paid for. So you would have to pay a decent amount to get in the main raw material in the whole process, which is the wood itself. So money has already been spent here in acquiring the raw material. Now obviously, now the supplier would need to be paid back. Maybe he's giving you a week's time, maybe two, which we also know is trade credit, but there will soon come a point where his patience is overrun and you will need to pay them. So the question you ask yourself is that what if we're not able to produce? Something goes wrong, COVID strike, whatever, bad weather. What if that happens and my supplier still needs the money? Can I sell it, my raw materials that is? Can it be sold and converted into cash easily? And the answer to that, of course, is no. No customer would take just a piece of wood, considering it to be a cupboard and expecting that, oh yeah, we'll buy it and we'll make it on our own. Now I know what you're thinking, IKEA does that. But IKEA gives you the instructions, it gives you everything to do in place to simply put it together. That itself is a product. Here, if they just give you uncut wood, nails, and handles and ask you to do it, you're not going to do it. So as a customer, you're not going to buy it. So raw material cannot be converted into cash easily. So your cash is stuck in raw materials. Okay, then let's say when we start making it, but it's still only half done. It's still a work in progress. Can you convert this into cash? Of course not. You wouldn't take a table without its legs, right? You would want the whole thing. So even this can't be converted into cash just yet. Now, let's get to the finished good. Yes, you can sell finished good, and we know that once you get from here to this point, it is possible. But it is also possible that when you sell, it is sold on credit, meaning that the customer may pay half the amount later. So this is a no and a yes. So yes, we'll get paid, but maybe at a later date. So what we see here is that until and unless you can quickly convert your raw materials into finished good, get it out of your door, and convert it into cash, you won't be able to pay back your initial supplier. So what we see here developing is that there's a close relationship between the ability to come up with cash and the maintenance of inventory. Because as you keep going here, it may take you months before you are able to sell it, which makes this an illiquid asset. Assets are those things that a company owns and uses in its production process. And we can see here that inventory, because it takes a long time for it to be converted into cash, it is considered an illiquid asset. Of course, company needs to manage it, the operations department needs to do it. So we're going to look at a couple of ways through which businesses can manage the right level of inventory to guarantee that they have cash when it is needed.